Right. So we are having this another session on remedies and gemstones. Besides my views, which we discussed in previous session, we have my friend Zahira who would like to convey her experiences and her views regarding remedies and gemstones. And if Because my views are very you can even say anti entire remedies and gemstones. It is more like pro view, so maybe it may be helpful for people. So, Zahira, you can take it forward. If
Okay, great. Yeah.
if other people join, we will also take other people views on this point, and we can have a much more comprehensive discussion. Just a
Perfect.
second.
Yeah.
Someone joined. Just a second.
Yeah.
Uh, Hi, Sheetal, are you there?
Hi, Vishalji, I'm there. Yes.
Right, great. So we are just starting. Zahira will give her opinions or based on her experiences with remedies and gemstones, and then we will cover other people experiences, and then I will just convey my thoughts on it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Zahira, it's all yours.
Okay, great. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. So just I wanted to just share a few things right off the bat. Um, I don't sell any gemstones. I have no this is not like some kind of a it's not some kind of business I run or anything. I have no dog in the fight. I won't benefit in any way. I just wanted to share my experience because I feel like there's a lot of people who have some misconception about gemstones, misinformation about gemstones. So this is just like something that I wanted to share because someone shared it with me and it helped me. So I'm kind of just passing it along. So that was the reason I had reached out to Vishal sir and said that I want to give a counter opinion to your first session about gemstones. So the reason I had explored this is because I was going through a very very deadly Saturn dasha, and I know when people typically go through a Saturn dasha or a Rahu dasha, things are never going right for them. There's delays and obstacles and health problems and this and that. So I went through a period of that, and that is what led to me to explore different remedies, and that's why I had decided to explore like what are, I was very always very curious, like why gemstones are a thing, and you hear so much about this. It's ubiquitous on the internet, and it's such a big part of Jyotish and Vedic astrology. So I said there must be something there. There must be something that changes people's lives. But then every second person always says, "Oh, they don't work. It's about it's just a waste of time, and the someone just wants your money or something like that." So and that was very discouraging, and most people probably when they first try gemstones, they probably do get discouraged because they spend some money on something and somebody sells them something and someone says, okay, wear this, and then they experience no benefit, and it's and then you just leave it and it stays in your drawer for whatever, and you just have and then you when someone else talks about it, you tell them, oh, it doesn't work, and that happens in most cases. But in my experience, I didn't give up. I was like, no, there has to be something behind this. It's a years, 100 years or whatever kind of belief. It must be rooted in somewhere. So, but as what happens throughout the ages, like the correct procedures or the correct methods of wearing gemstones is lost because it's not something that we normally practice in the modern world. So I for a few years now, I have been experimenting because I had this health issue that was basically like not curable. So you have to survive. So you can't live a certain way and just give up and say, okay, I'm not. So I had to explore different alternative therapies. So whether that was acupuncture or gemstones or whatever. Like I went through that whole phase of exploring different kinds of things. So I nearly gave up. I was like, okay, maybe this gemstone stuff is just a lot of bullshit. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm wasting my time buying this and trying this. So but something always told me, like, no, I have to stick with it. There must be something in it. And now I'm finally at the point where I'm like, oh, okay. Like, now I can see that, there there are it does work. It's just that everybody has to find the correct gemstone for themselves, and then the correct method of charging, activating, and purifying. I don't claim to have all the answers on it, because I learned through trial and error. But I will just share my experience. I have Venus in the 10th house, and I'm a Leo ascendant, and my Venus is in a strong position. And Vishal sir has also told me that it's good. It has a good dignity. So I was told, that you should try opal by some other astrologers, and so I have tried opal, and it's really worked well with me. A lot of the issues that I was experiencing, primarily digestive issues, what has really been alleviated. So I wanted to share that as a counter opinion to Vishal sir, like, that it can work. It's not that they don't work; they do work, but there is no like one way to say that you do this and this is going to work. It's a lot of trial and error. It's very difficult to find the right stone for you, because I try different stones as well. Like, I also have a sun in a very good position. It's exalted, but like ruby, first of all, it's very expensive to find a unheated ruby. So that was out of the question. But the secondary ratnas, like the uparatnas, work very well as well. So if you cannot afford a yellow sapphire and emerald, you can look into those too. It might not fix every aspect of your life, because it depends on the placement of the planet. It may only help like certain aspects. But if if you're struggling through something and you're not, there's no way out, and it's difficult, like, you still have to try different things. And I personally have benefited from it. So that's why I just wanted to share my experience. And the I tried opal because my Venus is strong, but I hear that opal is a healing stone. Aside from astrology, like, my experience with opals in Western astrology, or people who study crystals always say that opal works for everybody. But there, like, you do have to be careful with opal, because if it's not energized properly, it can actually give you bad effects. So that's it's one of the tricky stones. But like, if you are exploring gemstones, you don't have to go for the rubies and the emeralds and the yellow sapphires, and look at the uparatnas. They actually can be very powerful, sometimes even more powerful than the primary stones. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. And I'm not like a professional speaker or anything like Vishal sir, so this is just like my anecdotal experience. But I'm happy to answer some questions or anything along those lines.
Uh, Anyone has any question for Zahira? Zaira, have you tried other gemstones or remedies besides opal, like you were saying, and
So
or
I I
crystals? Like many people prefer crystals also.
I I did, but what I found difficult with crystals is that, like, if you, first of all, like, you have to wear the stone at all times, because as soon as you remove the stone from your body, what I understand from it is that this you will start vibrating at the level of the stone. So once it's removed from your body, the vibration is going to go down of your body. So it's not going to work anymore. So it's really hard to carry a big crystal with you all the time everywhere. That's why I guess, that's why you get very small cut stones and you make it into a ring or a pendant. You can use one of those, bracelets, but again, it's difficult to wear like all the time, because it has to be practical too. You're bathing, you're traveling, you're going through the airport, you can't carry a big rock with you, so that's why I guess the best cut, small stone is the most practical to wear for a long period of time. And some stones are very like you can wear them forever. Like again, I'm a Leo ascendant, and I've been told that red garnet is really good. I haven't yet gotten a red garnet, but that is my next like stone to try. Right now, I'm just kind of taking it one by one because I want to see the effects I get with the opal, and then see where that takes me. After 6 months or so, then I would then I would add another stone to pretty much activate the houses that are not activated with the opal, the beneficial houses.
Right. Thank you. Does it have something to do with the dasha someone is running? Like, if I am running through Jupiter dasha, then Jupiter-related gemstone is more helpful for me. Or if someone is running through like Saturn dasha, then maybe like Saturn's gemstone.
I think that is the common belief, but I don't know if I really totally agree with that. Like, I would wear opal for the rest of my life. I
No.
don't see any time. I don't see any time where I wouldn't want to wear it or wouldn't need to wear it. Because if I'm
No.
getting such good effects with the stone,
Right.
if I change to another dasha, I wouldn't see any reason to stop wearing it. But I know that is what is commonly recommended. Like, you should wear this stone in this dasha. But I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that. I'm not sure there's any reason why I would stop wearing opal. But I know
And
that is what they recommend. Like, they recommend that, oh, you should wear this during this dasha. I guess because what Jyotish recommends is that if your Jupiter is Vakri, am I pronouncing that correctly? Vakri, right? If it's not acting the way it should, if you wear that stone during that dasha, it will operate in the correct way. That's what they say. And I think it's probably more beneficial to wear in that dasha. But if it's benefiting me anyhow, I would continue wearing it like lifelong. But you have to be practical too. You cannot wear like 10 stones. You cannot wear all of them. I guess some people do wear the Noratan. I think they do that. But I mean, I would think that you should really wear a few stones that will help your most beneficial houses, because again, it has to also be practical. So
right.
that's my thinking on it.
Okay. Arushi, you want to ask something? Okay, she got logged out.
Oh.
Hi Ajit, hi Gurleen, how are you both?
Hello, sir. I'm good. How about you?
So we are just talking about these like gemstones and remedies. Zaira, can it be like a result specific also? Like, if I just extend that question, like suppose X person is just has main concern around his health. Okay, regarding any dasha. Okay.
Yeah.
In any dasha, he feels like health issues are coming back again and again. So can this like gemstones or remedies can be like this is specific to this health issue only or any other area of life?
I think if it was like a health issue, I would probably recommend the gemstone that is associated or aspecting the first house.
Mhm.
That's probably how I would do it. I have Mars in the fifth house, which is why I think that I had some digestive issues. So
Mhm.
the red garnet would be very, very beneficial for me for that reason. But again, I feel like you really can't go wrong, assuming the planet, the planet that rules your first house is in a good position. I don't think you can really go wrong with wearing that gemstone. But again, like, this is a lot of trial and error, and if and I don't really recommend this as like the first way to fix whatever's going on. But let's say you've had a lot of challenges, nothing seems to be working. It's definitely worth exploring. That's what I would say.
Right. You talked about energizing it or charging it. So does like different gemstones have different ways of charging them or energizing them, or like one way work for all?
The science says that different gemstones charge different ways. Like if it's if it's moon, like a gemstone for moon, like pearl or moonstone, then it would charge with the moonlight. They say that. I don't know enough about charging each individual gemstone to say, but it's worth exploring all the different methods. It may drive you crazy trying to figure it out, but I mean, if the other option is the status quo of your life, then you might as well try something. But I have found that for the opal stone, which is a stone of Venus, it charges very well in the sun. It charges very well with sunlight. Again, I don't have experience with a lot of the gemstones, but but my intuition tells me that sunlight is very powerful. And like if I was gonna charge like a red garnet, or like a yellow sapphire, I would definitely use the sun for that too. I would definitely try that. I would I would use holy water. If you can find Ganga Jal, that's great. Or any other kind of fresh spring water. You need water. And if anything, if you're, cleansing or bathing, you need water for that. And then sunlight. And then I would try to explore different methods. This is a lot of like, there's no one way to do it. I'm not sure. Like they say that, if you go to a qualified pandit, they are able to charge it for you. But then I've also heard a lot of stories where people say nothing happened. Like I just met someone a few days ago who told me that she was given a gemstone by a pandit, and she said nothing happened. So, I mean, you can be at the mercy of others, or you can try things, different things yourself. So I'm sure there are ones who are qualified, but there's also a lot of fakes out there, But I definitely like my main message here is you don't have to empty your bank account and only get a ruby from Burma, or a yellow sapphire. Try the secondary retinas. They're actually pretty powerful, and they won't break the bank. And if there is no other, if you're in in a situation where nothing else is working, why not try this?
Right. So, like, you are basically saying that Uparatna, secondary Ratna, or secondary gemstone is equally like beneficial.
Sometimes more so. Sometimes
Most.
more so. Sometimes I would say even more so.
Okay.
Because
Right.
because they're actually like my what I feel is, if something is like amethyst, it's a very prevalent gemstone on earth. Like it's easy to find amethyst. And I feel like the universe or God has made it this way because more people need amethyst. So when a gemstone is so rare, it's probably not needed as much by the masses. So I feel like when a gemstone is more prevalent, it's probably uh, will benefit more people. Like that's just what my intuition tells me. So you don't necessarily like need the most rare one or the most rare piece. If the uparatnas are less expensive, or because they're more easily found, that could also be the reason why more people can benefit. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making sense on that
Right.
point.
Okay.
I hope nobody's speaking up, but I hope people are listening and benefiting.
Everyone is
So,
listening. Don't worry about it. Ajit has some question.
okay, great.
Hi, Zaira. I have a couple of questions. So, regarding charging the gemstones, so I
Yes.
have been also wearing gemstones. So, for the charging, I think I was told to charge them using mantras, as in you have to recite a specific mantra, Bij mantra regarding the deity of that particular stone, 108 times, I think.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the way that was told to me. But this is something new which you mentioned regarding charging it with sunlight or moonlight. So, what's your take on that?
So I have tried the mantras as well, and I what I've understood is that the mantras, the word Om, and which is like in every mantra, it resonates with 136.1 hertz, which they say is the vibration of the crystals of crystals found in Earth. So the mantra is just like you can even use a tuning fork or a singing bowl that vibrates at 136.1 hertz, and that would be the same as reciting a mantra, for example. I think the mantra is more ritualistic, and that's why it's recommended. But I actually do. I think it's more just like getting that vibration of that, because the word Om and the mantras, they vibrate at that hertz, and they say that that's what gets the vibration in the crystal, like the molecules aligned, and that's what causes it to the crystal to be charged. But personally, I don't know if I don't do it correctly or what I did, but it never worked for me. The mantras didn't work for me. And I've tried the singing bowl, I've tried the tuning fork, I tried sound therapy. It didn't really work for me, so I just like didn't bother trying it again. However, if sunlight doesn't work for me, I would like for the next like for if I get another gemstone, excuse me, and the sunlight doesn't method doesn't work, I would try the mantra, and I would try using like a singing bowl or sound therapy, something that vibrates on the Earth's vibration, which is the sound of Om, which is 136.1 hertz. I would try it. It didn't work for the particular stone that I wanted it to, but that doesn't mean it won't work for the others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, on this aspect, as in, you said that you charge the gemstones, and when you wear them, you sort of start vibrating at their vibration or something.
Yes.
Uh, and if
And
you're
that's the
charged,
belief.
yeah,
That's the belief.
that's
I'm not a scientist, but
yeah.
they say that everything
Hmm.
in the world has, like Earth has a vibration.
Hmm.
So if you now,
Hmm.
what's really behind it, I mean, who knows, but that's the
Hmm.
belief that once you're wearing that stone, it'll affect
Hmm.
your vibration, and you'll
Hmm.
vibrate at the correct vibration, and then it'll sort the problems out, whatever you're having, based on
Hmm.
that planet or that house or what have you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And if you are charging the stones with the Bij mantra, can't you just so I had this question a long time back, but it never got answered. So I spoke to a couple of astrologers. Some would recommend gemstones. Some would say if you don't want to wear gemstones, you should recite this Bij mantra because so and so dasha is going on or whatever. So can't you just? I thought to myself, can't you just recite the Bij mantras because they will, if you meditate on them or maybe you recite them enough every day, because I think you have to do that every day, uh, then maybe you will get some benefits out of it. Because, see, when you're reciting a mantra, anyways, you know for sure that the vibration is coming back to you, it's going inside you. What are your thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. You're saying that if the point is to get the vibration vibrating at the with Om, then shouldn't it be adequate just reciting the mantras every day? And that is also a remedy. Reciting mantras every day is also a remedy. If I don't have, because I've tried this as well, when I don't have the stone on, and I've just like used a singing bowl or a tuning fork on the earth's vibration, it has helped, it has relieved me from whatever issues, whatever health issues for that day, and then I have to do it again the next day. But with the stones, once they're charged and you're wearing them, and as long as you don't remove them from your body, you don't have to do it daily. So that's the benefit. Like that stone, once it's charged and you're wearing it every day, you're not taking it off, and that means you keep it on 24 hours. Then you don't have to recite the mantra daily. Otherwise, if you're not wearing a stone, then you'll have to recite the mantra daily, which gets, a little tedious, and it's hard to sustain. And also, I don't find it to be as effective. Just I never tried the mantras like every day, but I tried using a tuning fork or a singing bowl every day, and I got benefits. But by the third or fourth day, I might have got busy or forgot or done it a little bit later. It was not sustainable in the long term. But wearing a ring or a pendant, that's not very difficult. Once it's charged and it's on you, then it's fine. I don't know. Have your astrologers said that you have to, or if you're wearing a gemstone, that it needs to be charged every day as well? Have you been told
No,
that?
so I have got mixed answers on that front. So a few people say that maybe you need to charge it fortnightly or something like that. Few people say that there is no need of charging once you activate the gemstones using a particular procedure. After that, it will stay activated throughout your life, probably. So I have got mixed answers. There's no single concrete answer that I
I
have got. Yeah.
I believe in the latter of what you've just said. I believe that once you've charged it, it should not discharge for any reason unless
Mm,
you remove it from your body. Then the vibration goes down. Then you'll have to do the whole procedure again, because it doesn't make sense that if you have to, the
mm,
stones cannot, they're created, like they were made under a lot of pressure underground in all
mm,
sorts of kinds of environment. They should not be so weak to just lose their vibration just like that. If that was the case, why do
mm,
we need stones, like if they're so weak, to begin with? You know
mm,
what I mean? Like if they constantly need recharging, then how is it really going to be
mm.
beneficial for us? I have not needed to recharge.
Okay. By
Yeah.
removing it from the body, do you mean that even if you remove it,
If you
like
remove it
while?
from the body, then that is in a case that you will need to recharge it, because the stone, it
Mm,
kind you it the again, I don't know the science behind it because I'm not a scientist, but whatever, the stone has helped you reach a level of vibration, and then once you remove it from the body, then it goes like, then it you need to repeat that whole process over again. But if it's on your body, it will continue charging your body, I think, indefinitely. Now, I haven't used it for enough time to like, it hasn't been a year or anything like that, where I can say. But my intuition tells me that there shouldn't be any reason to charge it. And the few astrologers that I've spoken to say that once it's charged, as long as you don't remove it from your body, it should work for you for a very long time. Like, you don't,
mm,
like, they have said to me that you can wear it for 6 years or 7 years, but my intuition is like, why can't you wear it for life? It shouldn't
mm,
it shouldn't stop working one day. But
mm.
I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I definitely don't think it's something that you need to take off and recharge every
Yep.
few days or 6 months even.
Yep.
It
Okay.
takes a lot of energy for that stone to bring your body to that vibration. So
Mm,
if you keep removing it to recharge it, then and I have tried this as well, because a few times I've taken it off inadvertently or something, and I felt very low, the vibration went very down, and then the negative effects came, because suddenly
mm,
you're receiving all this positive vibrations, and you remove it, and then, like, it just bad things starting to happen. So I was
mm.
very careful, like, I've been very careful to not remove it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Love, you wanted to ask something, Ayushi?
I was just thinking like it's like when you say, like we charge it. So like what I understand is like when you charge something with your attention, it gets power. Uh, I'm still figuring it out what I have to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no.
Arushi,
So, okay, sorry.
go ahead, love, or Arushi, or whomsoever.
Uh, I am a little occupied with the patient, so I wanted to speak something, but I'll speak in a minute or so.
Sure. Love.
So what I was thinking is like, like how, humans, they just wanna like believe in something, right? Like how we have idol worship in India, we charge the idols, right? The murtis, we charge it with energy, we give the attention, and instead of bringing that energy inwards, we try to find the external thread to hang on. um,
Mm.
like uh, like have you ever given that a thought? I mean, like, it could be a placebo.
I totally know what you're saying. And everybody around me, like my family members, they think I'm crazy because they're like, oh, this is in your head, like this is, and I'm just like, no, but you're seeing the effects. You're seeing the effects of when I wear it, this happens, and you see it, and they have to acknowledge it. But then everybody, like, people are at different levels of belief, right? So if someone doesn't want to believe it, they don't believe it. But it's a valid point. Could it all be in my head? Could it just be that I want to believe it's true?
Mm.
But it I I'm a pretty practical person. I'm a pretty practical person, and I definitely have like I'm not one of those people who are like no this like I'm living in a dreamland. I have a lot of self-awareness.
Mhm.
So it's not, that's not the case for me. But it's, if you know, how would you know? You don't know me personally, right? So you would assume that. Even some of my family members are just like, no. But then a few of them have also said, oh, that's strange that that happened. I said, yeah, it's not strange, it's because of this stone. And they're just like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, that kind of thing. But this, I think it's everybody's at a different belief level. Like, you either believe in something or you don't. You believe it's helping you, or you don't. Or you believe, you see, you know in your life, like, okay, this is working out for me, whereas this wasn't. So this is just kind of like, and I think in my case, when nothing else was working, I had to. This wasn't my first path. I never said I won't say I always had this clarity, because you're always, it's strange. It's a strange belief to have, but astrology is also strange. Like,
Right.
it's not mainstream. So it's not something that you're like, oh, well, this could have happened because of this reason. Like, it's not because your planet is transiting here or this. So it's kind of your level of belief, and it's kind of your level of how it's positively affected me. But that being said, I know everybody cannot believe in this. I do understand that. But then everybody cannot believe in astrology, or everybody cannot believe in this planet transiting this, or aspecting this may have not been the reason you got a traffic ticket. It could have just been because you were driving fast that day. But it's it's your level of belief, basically.
Uh,
Mhm.
Thank you. Actually, like, I didn't mean to question the belief, but what I
No, no, no,
want to
no. I know,
understand.
I didn't take it personally at all, because
No, no,
it's
no.
not
I
the
didn't
first
take
time.
it personally either. I
Yeah.
just want to understand the root of it. Like, I mean, the root is like, when you understand the root, is it like your internal energies are helping
No,
you, or it's something
I see.
external that is helping you?
No, I see the changes out externally as well. Internally, yes, because of the physical, but how the how my health problems have been alleviated. But I see the external changes. I see my day goes way better. I'm always having some issue with this employee or that employee, and when I started wearing the stones, those were eliminated. When I need to do a hiring, I was like not finding anybody for the job that I needed to be done. And then when I wore that, like, a lot of problems were sorted. So I can't. It would be really easy to say that, you know like, oh, this could just be what's going on. But I've also, like, experimented, and I also have removed the stone and saw everything go haywire too. And at some point, you have to think to yourself, like, okay, this can't just be a coincidence. This just can't be a coincidence. There has to be something in it. And then I'm also of the belief that this has been believed in like throughout centuries. You know, kings and queens, there were so many uh like it was so valued to wear these stones. And there and in a lot of the religions, you know, they believe that, you know, there's certain stones for protection. It has to be rooted somewhere. It cannot just be, you know, just a new age kind of thing. I just think that we don't know how to use them anymore. That's the problem. And it's
Thank you
not
for
easy.
sharing.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you for
not
sharing
at
that.
all.
Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much.
your question. Thank you.
Right. Arushi?
Yes, it's just what I think. I am not contradicting what you've said in any way.
Yeah.
Because I was made to wear coral and I was made to wear emerald at two different times in my life. One person who made me wear coral was of the strong belief that because my Mars is in such a good placement in the 10th house, so it should be made stronger. The other person who came felt that it was activating the debilitated Venus. So that was the absolutely wrong stone, and I should be wearing emerald. Now, when I have studied astrology, I feel emerald is in a like emerald is the stone for Mercury. It's in a Pap Kartri yoga. Why was I made to wear emerald? Probably because I was in the Venus Dasha and Mercury is in Libra sign. So everybody has their own different set of reasons to justify the stone that they want you to wear. What I feel that if a stone or a gemstone works scientifically, it should not be like it is working on one person and it is not working on the other person. If it is actually based on a scientific principle, and what you say that it energizes the energy field and gives you certain set of vibrations, then the result should be same on everybody. It is indicated on. Why is the result not same? And it cannot be compared to astrology, because in astrology, when we say Venus is in Virgo, Venus is in Libra, we do see certain set of uh, indications, symptoms, I would say, in a medical language, that we see those things manifesting in every person who has that placement, more or less the same. But I don't see that gemstones bringing the same result in every person. In some person it helps, in some person it doesn't help, because probably your belief system matters a lot there. You so strongly wanted, you had that strong belief system that it has to give me the result and it has to produce, because you felt that it is an age old system, and it can't be just like that so many people are advocating the same thing. I think the mind plays a very strong role here, and maybe you found the stone that you considered the right stone for you during the right dasha for you, when probably things were meant to go the right way, irrespective of whether you were wearing the stone or not wearing the stone. That is what I feel, because and I personally feel universe cannot be making things so easy for us that just wear a stone and life would be like all perfect. We are here to learn our lessons, we are here to work upon ourselves. We are not here to wear a stone. I think if there is something wrong, we need to work on that particular area of our life, and probably be a better version of ourselves in this particular life. That is what there. This is where I feel that stone is just an easy way out, and it should not be advised to people, because then they'll not try to work on their anger issues, work on their digestive issues, work on their health issues, work on their mental issues. They would just try to find the right stone that will suit them well. That's all.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so yeah, so I guess I did start off by saying that I don't recommend it as the first choice. I don't say I only say if you've tried everything and it's not working, this I wouldn't dismiss it. It's not something I recommend. Like obviously you should work on you know whatever issues you're facing. But let's say you reach a point where nothing is working and you need to try something else. That's how I got into alternative therapy, but that was not my first, second, third, or even 10th option. It's after a lot of failure that I had I went, I went down this path. So it's not something I recommend. And I know most people cannot like embark on this journey because it's very tiring. It's very like you're always, you lose hope a lot during this process, and it's very frustrating. So I don't recommend it for most people. But going back to what you had said, that if a stone works for one person, then why shouldn't it work with the other person? So I've thought about this in a way. I've thought about this as well many times, and I was like, let's say I don't believe in astrology at all. Let's take astrology out of the picture, and let's just say that I believe that stones work. Why do some stones work for some people and the same stone will not work for another person? I've also, I forgot to mention, I've also tried blue sapphire, and that gave me it gave me very bad results. And my Venus is aspected by Saturn, so my Venus was already weak. It was in good dignity, but it was weak because it was aspected by Saturn. But when I had worn blue sapphire, the benefits that I experienced was I was very I was very focused, and I was doing work well, but I could not sleep at night. I could like, my body was just not relaxing. And so I thought about it from a different aspect, because I was like, I had the same question that you did. I said, if one stone works for one person, why doesn't if it gives you discipline and it gives you focus and it gives you this, then it should work for me, like, the stone should work. Like, why is it giving me negative effects? Is it because of Venus? And then I came to the realization that every stone has every stone has a chemical formula. And sometimes your body, where no two bodies are alike, your body might need a certain chemical that is lacking or deficient in, and somebody else's body will need something else. So that is how I justify it. And I'm not a scientist, but that's just my what my again, my intuition or my belief says, is that that's probably why it didn't work for me, because whatever the formula for the blue sapphire is, it was not something that was required by my body, but probably what was in opal was something that was required, and that's why I needed it. If I was putting astrology aside, because I tried to look at it in different ways, not just astrology, but I tried to look at it from different points of view. That, let's say, why does one stone work for one person? Because maybe that person like has that imbalance. Maybe garnet works well because Leo ascendants, maybe, or maybe it may not work for every Leo ascendant. Maybe every Leo ascendant is not deficient in iron, for example. They don't need it, but some of them do. Maybe typically Leo ascendants do need it. Or let's just take astrology aside. Maybe some people are deficient. Like, I believe the chemical structure for garnet is iron something. I'm not sure, but you know that's how it made sense to me. That's why every stone may not work for everybody, because your body may not require it. Like in Ayurveda, some people are vata, some people are pitta, some people are kapha, some people are a combination. Blue sapphire is very high in vata energy, and that's probably why it kept me awake all night. But I was doing really well in mind activities. But then it had that negative effect, because I already have too much vata in my body, and I didn't need that. I needed a more balancing stone. I need a more balancing stone. Like, so I looked at it from every angle, but that's what it made sense to me. But you're right that it's a lot of belief system, and it's a lot about you wanting to work, wanting to make it work, and believing in it. But blue sapphire definitely didn't work for me. So I can definitely tell you an example of a stone that did, or I believe it did. I saw the manifestation in my life, and another stone that definitely did not work for me.
Okay, thank you.
So
Gurleen, Sheetal,
yeah,
any further
just a small
question?
point. Yeah, just a small point more. So I was probably in my 10th or 11th standard when I was made to wear the coral, and I was made to wear the Thursday fasts. So both both of these things didn't help me, but they made me angrier, because even at that age I found all this a bullshit, and I thought, what kind of nonsense is this, that I deprive myself of food all Thursday. Like I'm made to eat all sweet foods, and I'm craving for salt, and I'm not allowed to eat salt, and it is making me angrier. How is it supposed to help my daughter when it is not helping my stomach?
You know, one thing I would like to say is the way I don't think everything is so cut and dry, so that where they'll say that, oh, if you're this ascendant then you should wear this one. I don't actually think it's that easy. I think there's some experimentation involved, and I think that if an astrologer is just telling you based on your ascendant or based on your dasha, I actually wouldn't believe that, because I don't think it's that easy. I think there is some experimentation that you have to do if you ever wanted to do it. There is, but I think if just like I did try a few different stones before I landed on the right one. So I don't think it was that easy, because I'm a Leo ascendant. I didn't try red coral was recommended. I also tried red coral. It didn't work for me. It like heated me up like crazy, in fact. And I felt like I was whenever I was it made me angry and irritable, and it gave me a headache. So it didn't work for me, but all the books say it should work for me, but it didn't. And all the books say that Venus stone shouldn't work for Leo ascendant, but that's the one that worked. So I don't actually think it's that cut and dry, and I don't think the information out there is correct either on that. So
Right.
I mean, I agree with you there.
Yeah. Yeah, like Sheetal, Gurleen, you want to ask or add something?
Hi, yeah, this is Sheetal. So hi, Zara. So what I found was, your personality seemed, I don't know, at the face value, a little bit similar to mine. I've had a little bit of stomach issues. I have more of the Vata thing. And again, I'm new to all of this. I've just been in the last few days reading a little bit about it. But again, and I take, I've been quite stressed from a work perspective also, and I didn't know how to handle some of those things. My personalities, well, I don't know, it's not a typical Leo personality, but it's somewhere, mixed up. And so, I was curious, like, if you have to go hunting for a gemstone, how do you go about it? Like, do you think it's a straightforward process? Initially, I was looking at it from an ornamental value. But I thought that, why not just, if you're buying something as an ornament also, why not buy something which would be of value from a sun sign perspective or from your personality perspective? How do you go about that? Or do you think that, you should wait, figure yourself out, or talk to a counselor or an astrologer, or an Ayurvedic consultant, and then go about it?
I think that it's a lot of trial and error. I think there's a lot of trial and error. So like I said, I don't recommend this as the first option. But if you really try, what dasha are you going through right now?
Yeah, I don't know about any of that.
You don't know? Okay, so first I would just check what dasha, because if you're going through a difficult dasha, because I went through this process in the I'm still in the Saturn dasha. I'm about to enter Mercury in a year's time, but I went through a lot of delay and frustration, and I know that was like dealing with a lot of karma and everything. But I'm also somebody who is always going to try something. I'm going to try to figure it. I cannot just accept like, okay, this is going to be how it is, and I just have to deal with it. I don't have that much patience
Right.
in doing so. So I was like, no, I have to find a remedy. I have to do something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do understand that, like, not everybody is going to do that, and I also understand that not everybody should do that. But there is a lot of trial and error. But like, I would probably like I would probably pick a few. A lot of it is intuition. I feel like a lot of it is intuition. I would probably see like what stone I'm attracted to, and I definitely would go for a stone that is well placed in the chart. So it does, like, my sun is exalted, but it's sitting in the same house as Rahu. So it's like I the a sunstone wasn't working for me. A garnet is for Mars. So my Mars is my yoga karaka, and that I believe that that would be a very good stone for me. And my Venus, again, it needed strength because it is aspected by Saturn. So I think it's like a combination of a few things. I think it's something that your body needs. I would look at it from an Ayurvedic perspective. I would look at it based on my chart, and then I would be ready if I were really going to go down this path. I would also be ready to try a few different stones, because you probably won't find your magic stone on the first go. You know what I'm saying? So like if you're going to go down this path, you will encounter some failure. But it's sort
Right.
of like looking at a few different things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I should probably wait before I jump into this.
Yeah. This is like
Okay.
more, if you have some experience in this, or nothing else seems to be working, and you really want to, I also like gemstones. Like I am also somebody who likes these things. So I was willing to explore this path too. Yeah.
Right. Right. Thank you.
Are you a Leo ascendant? Are you a Leo ascendant?
Yes, I am a Leo.
What nakshatra?
I don't know.
Okay, so you have a lot of things to look into before you go into gemstones. You can look
Right.
into a lot of other things as well before you go down this path.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gurli. Any addition or you want to ask Zahira anything?
Yeah, I had one question for Zara. I'm not
Yes.
sure if you might have mentioned this. I haven't heard about it yet. Have you tried taking off the gemstone and like experimenting to see if the effects stop working?
Yes, they start working, and in fact, the like depending on how long I've worn it. So if I've worn the gemstone for like 3 days, when I take it off, the next like 5 or 6 days are going to be very bad for me. But now, and if I've worn the gemstone for like a week and then I take it off, they're worse. Like it seems to be like the longer I wear it, and then if I remove it, like after after a longer period of time, the worse the effects are. So if I wear for a day and then I remove it, I might have a few things go wrong that day. But if I've worn it for a week and then I remove it, a lot more things go wrong. So it seems to, like, what I've noticed is that I guess the more you have it on, the stronger the planic, I guess the stronger the vibration is. And as soon as you remove it, it goes way down. And if you've already brought the vibration very high and then you remove it, it just like sinks very low. I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's my interpretation of how I've been feeling feeling of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else wants to share their experience with Remedies gemstones? Please feel free.
I have just one last question for Zaira. So even if you take it out for like a second or so, the effects they go away.
I never have taken it off for a second, and I've also not wear, like, I have been told that if you wear after for 6 months and then you remove it for a few minutes, it should be okay. But for me, it hasn't been that long. I haven't worn it for 6 months yet. I've only worn it for a few months. So but I'm too afraid to take it off now. So that's one very negative thing, because I almost feel like I'm at the mercy of the stone. So that's a little bit scary, um because then I think to myself, like, what if, if I take it off and then something bad happens. So but then the benefits have outweighed the risk, because I've gotten so many positive things out of it that I'm like, this is just something that's going to have to be. So I don't want to take it off. It's difficult to make sure it's charged correctly, to go through that whole process, and then the process of in the few days it may take you to find the right time to charge it and everything. I've been told that it doesn't matter if you take it off for a few minutes after you've worn it for a long period of time, but I don't want to take that risk, so I haven't taken it off.
Okay. Right. Any further question, comments, addition, or people want to share their experience before I can explain my views for new people, like people who have joined these sessions before, obviously they know, but for new people, I can just explain my ways of like dealing with remedies and gemstones. If anyone wants to add anything further, please feel free.
I just want to say something to Zara, but I am fearful of offending her.
No, you're not going to
So,
offend me at all. I probably have heard it already from family and close friends.
sure.
So you're not going to
Then
offend
I'll
me.
go ahead. Then
Yeah,
I'll go ahead
yeah,
because I think it is very important to listen to people with opposing views to make your
yeah.
mindset a little broader, right?
Right,
So
right.
the way it is making you fearful, Zara, doesn't seem like a very optimistic sign to me. Also, if you think from the perspective that Sun is your ascendant lord and it is sitting with Rahu, Rahu can bring you a lot of illusions in your mind and your overall personality. So, first house being the ruler, first house being your overall personality, your mind, your mental makeup. I think Rahu is influencing your decisions to a very large extent. I think
I
so.
don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But about Rahu and Sun, I don't disagree with that. But I also it's I also don't. But my life is better now versus before the introduction of the stone. It was like stagnant and not going anywhere, and in fact quite difficult. I was dealing with a lot of things. So but that was here I have a fear of taking it off. But so here there's just a fear of the possibility. But what was before was living that actual, terrible
Right.
life. So like here, you also have a fear of losing your mom, or you're losing, a sibling. The fear is there. The fear is like, okay, I fear, like, taking it off, something might bad, but that's just a fear. Where but otherwise life is good. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, I
like,
understand.
yeah, like, I
I
mean,
understand. But
I
I
don't
just
like to be
feel,
at the mercy of anything. I really don't
yes,
like to be at the mercy of anything. But the other side was worse,
yes, I
so
understand.
yeah.
But I think that what Vishal sir also always says, that you should always try uh, to live your fears so that you can ultimately overcome them. I think that should, I am better than you because I am also fearful of a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I try, life actually puts me in circumstances where I have to live those fears. So probably I am getting every time I face my fears, and I think everybody should walk the same path whenever they are ready.
I mean, I think I also just don't think life should be miserable. Like, why should we be
Definitely,
miserable if we
definitely.
have if we have something that's helpful. um I, let I mean, I know that's not in my mind, but let's say, let's say that it's just in my mind, for example. Like, I'm not actually I'm not it's not actually improving my life, it's just in my mind. It's still like, even if it's just giving me mental peace, that's still a benefit. Even though I'm just kind of saying it, I'm just kind of taking the playing devil's advocate kind of in this situation, you know what I'm saying? And saying, let's say I agree with you, like, it's actually not helpful, but it's giving me mental peace. But like, it is actually helping me. I don't know, I hope I'm not rambling at this point. So
No,
I
no,
feel
no,
like I
no,
am.
you're
So,
not
yeah.
rambling.
Yeah.
Because sir also says that if it's helping you in any way, in all ways, like just go for it.
Yeah, and I also just like, after having lived through Saturn Dasha, and Saturn is, uh my Saturn could not be in a worse situation. I think sir would agree with me. Like, it's in my fourth house, in a Scorpio nakshatra. And Saturn is very bad for Leo ascendant, so it's really put me through the ringer. But I realized, like, why should I be miserable? Like, that's what made me explore this path, because I've tried so many different things that didn't help me. And everybody has always told me that, Saturn is just really bad for Leo ascendant. So then that's why I went down this path. But that being said, I don't really like I don't encourage, like, my sister to wear it, or I don't tell any, like, my best friend, I don't tell her, like, because I do think that there's a lot of other ways you can improve your life than this. But the reason I had asked her that, I want to give a counter opinion, because there are some people, and especially somebody who's watching this video, who is, going to go down a rabbit hole and is probably thinking, like, nothing's working for me. it might help them. This is how I got introduced to it, and it worked for me. So it can help some people. It's not something I recommend primarily, because I think a lot of things can probably be solved in other ways. But that being said, I do think it does work for some people, and maybe that has a lot to do with my belief, like you said.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Zaira, for all the information, for sharing and all.
Yes,
Finally,
I went more personal than I wanted to, than I
no
thought. But
problem.
when you start talking, you just kind of just keep going.
Yeah.
So, but I hope it helps somebody, and whoever it needs to help, it'll help, and whoever it doesn't,
Right.
it won't.
And as you have gone through this journey, this is the final thing from what I wanted to know. As you have gone through this journey, whole journey of like finding the right stone for you and all. So you might be aware from where to find the right stone, or how rightly to charge it. If anyone wants any help, uh, can they contact you? You can guide
Yeah.
them.
Yes, I can, but I also want to say, before they think about going down this path, they will be met with a lot of frustration, and there will be a lot of trial and error. So try other ways first.
Okay, great.
Try other ways first. Like my sister believes in this now because she's seen the positive effects in my life, but her life is going so well. I said, you don't need this. You don't need this. You don't need a gemstone just because it's improved. I needed the improvement in my life. If you don't need if the day-to-day hassles of life are getting to you, that's just life. That is, but there's certain people in certain situations where they have tried everything, and they're on rock bottom, which I feel I was. That's a different situation. Then you have no other, then it's do or die, right? But if it's a normal life where you have some ups and downs, no, you don't need this, you don't need a gemstone. Figure things out different ways. So my sister doesn't need it. She's a Libra ascendant. Life cannot get any better for her. So I was like, you don't need this. Okay, everything is going right for you. You don't need this. But she just wants it because she was like, no, but this improves so much for you. So I said, okay, now you're just being greedy about life. You don't need to do that. So I'm not going to be very generous and give out information like that, because I say only the person who's going to come across this video is probably someone who it has hit rock bottom. So for them, I'm willing to help, but for the majority of people, they don't need it.
Okay, fine. Great. Understood. So, like in a way, if I just add my views now, in a way, like what Zahira is saying and what I have my views on remedies and gemstones are on similar ground. She is advocating gemstones because of her experience. I'm not advocating gemstones or remedies because of my experience. Okay. So during my Rahu Dasha, I have tried almost every possible remedy, whatever was like possible, whatever was told to me. Okay, like I have gone through all the remedies, I have like changed many gemstones and all, and largely nothing worked for me. Okay, my life it changed because of the change of Mahadasha, plus because of change of my perception towards life, towards myself, the way I changed my path in my life, and I've been receptive towards changing path. So that made the change. Uh, at the same time, I'm ready to accept that maybe I was the unfortunate one. Okay, so remedies or gemstones didn't work for me. If it works for any other person, fine, take it. I'm all for it. If it brings good results in your life, who am I to prevent it? If it brings positivity and optimism in your life, who am I to stop you from that? So I'm just a neutral in this matter. Okay, in this matter of recommending gemstones and remedies, I'm just neutral, right in between. I'm neither recommending nor stopping you. Okay, so majority of people may feel I don't recommend, I don't stop either. if some like in first of class, so when we started I started these classes and all in 2021 batch, there was this lady who was suffering from cancer, and she just happened to like message me one day that I feel much better when I pray to Sai Baba. Okay, it is simple like worship kind of thing. So, like, you don't believe in remedies, so should I continue worshipping Sai Baba, or I should stop it? Now, who am I to tell you that you should stop something which is bringing positivity to you to fight this illness? Okay, if it brings good result to you, why should I stop? Continue worship. Okay, so likewise, what Zahira said, that she is speaking because of her own experience. I am speaking from my own experience. I didn't experience anything. It is as simple as that. I medicine didn't work for me. So in my complete awareness, I cannot give that medicine to anyone else. That okay, this didn't work for me. Try if it works for you. I cannot do that. So this is my reservation around remedies and gemstones. Then at some level, I feel that this is the biggest, second biggest scam in astrology world. I have like a clear cut opinion on this. This has become certain scam. Second biggest scam after like marriage consultations, horoscope matching consultations. This is one biggest scam. Considering that 1% people who get benefited from the remedies and gemstones, for 99% of other people, it is a scam. Okay, because the way it is sold. Okay, like in our discussion also, like an astrologer is saying that this planet is weak, you need to make it as strong. Now indirectly you are saying that individual is stronger than the planet. That is why he is bringing the strength to the planet. And at the same time we are saying that planets came into some certain positions in the sky, that's why you took birth. The planet which is responsible for your birth cannot be weaker than you. Okay, you cannot be stronger than that planet, so you cannot bring strength to that planet. Maybe it is just vocabulary kind of thing or language they speak, but this is wrong way to put it. Okay, that planet are weak and they need your help, yours support to be stronger. I feel that planets are far stronger than us. Okay, even if we follow this, okay, remedies work, then let's have this experiment. A child takes birth, 9 planets, let's include Uranus, Neptune, Pluto also, 12 planets, and perform 12 remedies for that child. Okay, child took birth, 12 planets, 12 remedies, perform all of them then and there only at the time of his birth. Then if remedies really work, then that child should not suffer anything in his life. His life should be all happy and all that. He should not have any relationship issues. He should not have any health issue. He should not have any accident, injury throughout his life. We all know it is not going to happen. We all know we have to go through our karma. Again, remedies or gemstones can only bring the positivity factor, optimism factor to go through that karma. Okay, while going through that karma, with every experience of my life, I can be better or better. As I say, maybe these remedies, worships, and gemstones can help me to make me a better person rather than bitter person through those experiences. Okay, so if even if that happens through because of some remedy gemstones, I'm all for it. Okay, if people become better people. Okay, then another thing is like the need for remedies. Okay, what I feel is where like it becomes like big business is like the need is created. Okay, many a times Like in my 40s, I can be super happy being single person and not having any kids and all. I can be very happy with my life. Okay. But people around me are not happy with my life. Okay. They will make me remind almost every day that you are not married and you are lacking something in your life. You don't have a child, and that is you are lacking something in my life. I may not have this feeling, but they are making me feel like this because society has given you a picture perfect scenario. Okay, where by mid 30s you should have your spouse, you should have two kids, you should have a house, and you should have a car, and you should be standing in front of that house and car and having a picture with your family. This is the picture perfect scenario which society has created for you. Now, if anything is missing from all these things, you are lacking something in your life. Maybe your chart is not good, maybe your planet is not good. That is why you need a remedy. Now, this person may be very happy with one child, but now society feels that second child is necessary. Maybe he is happy without a car, but society feels that car is necessary. Okay, and astrologer is also part of a society. Okay, so that is why he recommends do this. I remember just how astrologer can also be conditioned because of the society, and social criterias can become astrologers criterias also. Somewhere in 2015, 10 years back, when I was thinking of coming into this profession, I went to an astrologer to confirm that whatever I am seeing is also seen by other people. I am not making any mistake in jumping from my job to this business. I was 35-year-old at that time, and I asked this person whether I should take this switch from job to this astrology business. Being an astrologer, he said that you are already 35. Better you marry first and then leave your job. Well, I didn't even ask you for marriage. I asked for career consultation. Okay, why you are bringing marriage in between? And is it not a betrayal that if I show off myself in a job setup and I marry someone and after marriage I resign? Will it not be a betrayal to that person? Okay. So this is what I'm saying, that even astrologer was feeling that marriage is more necessary than getting into your right life path. He is not concerned about person is thinking about following his path. He is more concerned about serving the society, which thinks that marriage is more necessary. Okay, so this is why they create this need of remedy, and on that the whole business runs of remedies and gemstones and all. But there is another part of it, this is also a area of astrology where blind is led by blind. Okay, blind is leading blind. People also want remedies. People are also looking for remedies and gemstones. When I used to do this Q&A session earlier, on every Saturday and all, I was so tired with the questions on remedies and marriage that I used to put it on the video's title that no questions on remedies and marriage, please. Okay. In the title of the video, I am putting no questions on remedies and gemstones. Still, people were asking me questions. Tell me about this remedy, tell me about that remedy, and all. And I was thinking, how can someone miss the title of the video? That means you are a blind person. If you are unable to read the title of the video, that means you are a blind person, metaphorically. And if you are so blind, then don't complain about people fooling you, cheating you, frauding you. Okay? Because you are inviting that trouble. for yourself. Okay. Normally, people say that this astrologer fooled them, or then that astrologer cheated them. He gave a wrong gemstone, a wrong remedy, or he charged so much money for this puja and nothing worked, nothing happened. So this person is a cheat. Well, did you respect the honesty of the person who is telling you that he cannot help you with remedy? Did you respect my honesty that I cannot help you with remedy? I am putting on title of the video, you are still asking me the question. You are wasting your time, you are wasting my time and energy. If you are so blind, obviously you will find it. This whole universe existence works on one principle, demand and supply. If you are so blind with your demand, you will get a supply. And you will get a supply from a cheat only. No worries. If you are not accepting someone's honesty. Okay. So this is like another reason why it becomes a business, because people are crazy about it. People want remedies and gemstones. Okay. Why they want? Three reasons. First is laziness. People don't want to work hard. They want immediate results. This is why millions of videos on YouTube do this thing, and within 1 month you will have money coming to you, and every result is around money. If you pay attention on those videos, do that puja and money will be on your doorstep. Do that thing, money, wear this gemstones and money will be. So this shows that how poor we are in our thinking, mentally how poor we are. Only a mentally poor person will be so attracted towards money. Okay, that in anything he can only think about the money, that money is coming to my doorstep. Okay, that is the first thing. If I if Ajit comes to me and suppose he talks about his career, and I tell him that okay, to make your career more stable, you need to make these changes in your career, you need to start your business and plan accordingly and all. And there is another astrologer, he goes to and he says that don't worry about your career, wear this stone and everything will be fine. Now, what is easier for him? Wearing that gemstone rather than changing his whole career and starting as a business person. So that is the first reason why remedies are very popular. Laziness. People don't want to risk. People don't want to work hard. That is why the remedies get sold, gemstones get sold. One reason. The greed factor, the money. What I want will be served to me. Okay, and easily served to me without any hard work and all. That is also the reason why remedies are popular. Third thing is fear factor. Okay, many astrologers bring this fear also to sell you remedy. Do this if a parent is told that his child is supposed to meet with an accident in next 6 months, what not that parent will be ready to do. Okay, so this is another way by which remedy can be sold. Okay, so I feel that mainly three reasons why people are attracted towards remedies: laziness, greed, fear. Okay, saying all this, still sometimes remedies work. Okay, I accept that 1% situation where what Zahira was saying and what we talked about our own experiences, sometimes they work. Okay, maybe 1%, 2%, and remaining times they don't work. So if they work all the time, we can completely believe in it. If they don't work at all, then we can completely disbelieve in it. What is the problem here is that sometimes they are working, some majority of times they are not working. So how to understand it? Okay, this is where things go in an esoteric way. Okay, and this is what I am going to talk about is like Osho's philosophy on this. People can have questions on it and all. As Osho has highly influenced my thinking for in last 10 years, so obviously Osho will come into the play. So he says in his book, in Hindi, it is named as, yeah, Zahira.
Yeah, I wanted to just say two things. I don't know if I should wait till the end after you've spoken. Two points that I just wanted to make, or we can talk. I can say it at the end, or I don't know if I should. I don't want anybody to log out without hearing it. That's the only thing. That's why.
Mhm.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to say is that if anybody is going to go down this path of exploring gemstones, please keep in mind that if it's not correctly charged, it will actually give you adverse effects. It will give you adverse effects. So if you're wearing a stone on your body and it's a natural stone, unheated, untreated, it's possible that it will give you adverse effects. So that's one thing to be careful of. In my case, I was ready to go down this path because I couldn't. I already was at the bottom. There was not much to lose except money, which I did lose from this. So but so be careful about that. Like if you're not wearing a properly charged stone, that's why some people say, sometimes you hear people saying that, yeah, I wore it and things didn't improve or they got worse. That may happen. You might suddenly get a headache or some other kind of physical manifestation, or something else may go wrong. So be very careful about that. So again, I don't recommend it if you're just if it's the normal circumstances of life up and down. You shouldn't go down this path. It's only like really if you've tried everything else and it didn't work. And number two, just the point you were also saying that sometimes I have just a general remedy that has also worked for me, is that I believe that like begets like my father used to say that if you make money, if you make money, you'll make more money. Like wealth begets wealth. Sleep. Like if you want to uh, and I'm not an expert, but it's just what I feel and what I've experienced. If you want to increase Venus in your life, then staying hygienic and doing Venusian things, that will attract more Venus. And
Right.
that's just this doesn't cost any money, and this doesn't have any negative effects. So if anybody is just looking for a general thing in life, I have found that just going down, um, imitating that planet, like if
Yeah,
you're
like we talked throughout in our color classes, aligning yourself with the energy of
yeah
the
with that energy of that planet will strengthen that planet.
right.
So that's something that not doesn't have negative effects. Everybody can try that, and you can see for yourself if it works for you. I found that to be definitely something that works for me also. So those are just the two things I wanted to say. Sorry for interrupting. I just didn't
No
want
problem.
anybody to log out because I know we're going past an hour and a half, so without everybody hearing that. Yeah.
All right. So first thing is like you live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah.
Two-edged, but double-edged sword. Okay. Right. I understand. So esoterically, Osho says in his book, "मैं मृत्यु सिखाता हूँ," the Hindi version, English version, and now and here. He also talked about this thing in his huge preaching, Gita Darshan, which I feel that every human being should read once in his life. Okay. So about 1,50,000 people, 150,000 people die every day in this world. People, I'm not talking about animals, human beings. Okay. COVID or no COVID, this is the situation. In COVID situation, our dear news channels were only telling us. Even today, 150,000 people are dying every day, but we are not informed about it. Okay. So what happens when so many people are dying? These many souls are getting free, okay, from the body. Okay, we generally say from for our understanding purpose that soul has taken birth, rebirth, but soul never takes the rebirth. Soul is never born, never dies. only mind takes the rebirth, because mind has the desires. Okay, mind wants to attain something else in next life, so mind has the desire, so mind takes the help of the consciousness or the soul to take the rebirth. But let's, for our understanding purpose, we continue with that philosophy, that or that vocabulary, that soul takes the rebirth. So this 150,000 souls got free. We can categorize them in four different categories. One is like awakened. Okay. People who are like enlightened beings and all, their soul is free now. It gets merged into super consciousness. It is gone. Okay. It needs not to take the rebirth. Then lots of average people, average souls like you and I. Okay. Then these average souls start looking for new body to attain their desires. Okay, now this is the huge number, and it is very easy for them to find the like next body, because lots of average people are always in sexual intercourse. Okay, in this whole world, lots of average people are always in sexual intercourse, so no big deal for these people to get the new body. The problem comes with either very highly evolved people or highly devolved people. Okay. People like Ramakrishna Paramhans or Vivekananda, yeah, like people like them, problem happens. Or people problem happens, people like Hitler or Saddam Hussein, or like politicians and all. They, what is the problem? These highly evolved souls would have to wait for two highly evolved people to come into sexual intercourse, then only they can take rebirth. Okay, like Osho says, for his this last life he has lived, where he passed away in 1990. For this last life, he has waited for 700 years. His soul has waited for 700 years for two right people to come into sexual intercourse so that he can take the boon. Okay. Highly devolved people, they have to wait for two highly devolved people to come into sexual intercourse. These souls would have to wait where equally two equally devolved people come into sexual intercourse, then only they will get the rebirth, the womb. Okay. So now what is the way to wait? Okay, this is where the quality of the souls get we get the idea of the quality of souls. These highly evolved souls will roam around like auspicious places like temples or churches or mosques and all, or any like enlightened one monastery or ashram of any enlightened master and all. Whenever we see that there is a halo around a person, there is an aura, positive aura around a person, that positive aura is nothing but the presence of these highly evolved souls around that person. Whenever we say that this Gautam Buddha or other enlightened masters, whenever they walked, a aura walked around them, that is again the presence of these highly evolved souls around them. Okay, so they will wait till then. They have the patience. They can wait because it is also a virtue, patience. Okay. So evolved souls will have the patience. Okay. They can wait for 700 years, as I said with Osho. With devout souls, they don't have patience. They are lacking the patience. Okay. They cannot wait for so long. Okay. So this is where they go now, where they are going. They are going for, because they are evolved, they want to do something wrong. Okay, some crime, some negative activity, so they go to the negative places, like like dance of like criminals and all that, or places where which are like crime hideouts and all. They go there and they try to possess a soul, possess a human body. Okay, because they cannot wait for like 700 years to like for two equally devolved people to come into sexual intercourse so that they can take the womb. Why to wait till then? Okay, when I can just simply possess a human body. Okay, so they go there and they try to possess a human body. Now this can be the question when people may ask, okay, when a soul is already inside the body, how can another soul enter the body? So understand it like this is like etheric body of a person is just like a or even an animal, like a etheric body of a cow will be like a cow. Okay, unless and until it takes the body of another animal or human being. Likewise, my etheric body will be exactly like mine, like me only. Okay, so what happens when someone feels scared or afraid or not confident in his life, the fear factor comes in. The most natural reaction for all of us is that we shrink in our place. If a child is fearful, what he does, he gets this kind of like position. What is happening? You are shrinking in your place. Likewise, when mind is not confident, again, I'm coming to them back to the same thing that mind takes the rebirth. So when mind is fearful, mind is not confident, it gets shrinked inside the human body. And that makes the place for another soul to enter, another mind to enter and possess this. This is why people should not be condemned. We should not say anything negative, especially to the child, especially to a person who is condemned throughout his life. Okay. During our classes, we have seen highly intellectual people went into crime. Okay, ad camper 140 plus IQ, and he ended up in being a serial killer. Tad Kaczynski 167 IQ, the highest reported ever, he became a unibomber. Why it happens? Because you are condemned so much. Okay, Ad Camper came to know about his 140 plus IQ only when he landed into a prison and they performed some like test upon him, IQ test and all, and then police people told him that you have IQ of 140. Before that, this person was condemned like a stupid, dumb, you will not be able to do anything, you are a stupid person, you are a dumb person, you don't have a mind. So when someone listens to these things, he accepts it. Mind is all about accepting, receptivity. He accepts it and he starts shrinking within himself, and there is a possibility of possession. This is why majority of possession happens with females. Why? Because females are condemned from ages. From different ages, they are condemned, they are not good enough. They are not at par with the man. Okay, that's why majority of possession happens. Even in the case of like Jeffrey Dahmer, if you search, when he committed his second murder, okay, this is very interesting, and this is like how possession can work. This guy committed his second murder. He has memory of only meeting that person who, like whose murder happened, meeting him in evening, and the next memory he has that he got up in the morning and he saw the dead body of this person besides him. He has no memory when I killed this person. But obviously, I'm the only person in the room. This person is dead. My hands are bruised. Okay. So it looks like I killed this person, but this person has no memory. Jeffrey Dahmer has no memory when I killed this person. So even a murder can happen without any memory because a person is possessed. Person is possessed by like a demonic soul or whatever we call pretatma and demons and all. These are they. Okay, they possess a a human body and they do whatever they want to do through that human body and they leave for the next destination. Okay, now these evolved souls, as they are roaming around like temples and like auspicious places and all, and suppose one of the evolved soul or few evolved souls are roaming around a temple or a church or a mosque, and I happen to go there and I perform some remedy at that place, or I wear a gemstone after charging it at that place for some purpose in my life, they will they will give it. They have the strength, they have the power because they want to do something good. So when they see that I am there performing some remedy or worship and wearing some gemstones for achieving some purpose in my life, some like auspicious purpose I want to get, okay, fine, have it. Okay, so this is the only one rare circumstance where remedies on gemstones can work. One rare circumstance. Otherwise, they don't work. Okay. Otherwise, for 99% of times, then they don't work. Even like Zahira agrees to this fact, I think that it is not a guarantee that what worked for her is going to work for other people. Okay, so this is what Osho says. Okay, my view is the same that it didn't work for me, but I accept that I was the unfortunate one. If you are fortunate, feel free to try, go through this process of trial and error, and see what happens with you. Okay, other ways which I disagree in remedies market is like when they start boosting your ego. Okay, people speak in this language. Now you have performed this remedy, now this planet has to give you the result, has to. Okay, as if by performing that remedy, that planet has become your servant or slave. Okay, that is also an ego boost for human being, that now I have controlled my planets. Okay, so this is where I don't like the way the remedies or gemstones are sold. I have nothing to sell. Okay, so I can say anything easily. Okay, but it is also besides marriage astrology, relationship astrology. This is also a big market. People have lots of revenues coming out of it, so they have their own interest in selling their remedies and gemstones. But this is the one exceptional circumstance where a remedy or gemstones can work for you. Remaining time, they may not work. Okay, this is Osho's view, my view. uh, Let me know if there is any question. No questions. Sheetal, you are a new person,
It's
so I'm just asking
I'm
you.
I'm I'm still assimilating. It's this is very interesting is all I can say.
Okay, fine. Right. Love.
How we talked about soul, right? So do you think it's something physical, or it's also like our own mind who is thinking there is soul? And about the possession, when we go inwards, then we could possess. So is this our own mind that is like playing all these games, or it's their actual external thing that is coming, in us? Like, there external force to it? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay. Well, regarding soul, soul is always available. Okay, understand. Soul or like supreme soul is the same thing. There's we consider it as an individual soul, but understand it like this. Suppose there is this river or pond filled with water. Okay. There are few clay pots which are floating in the water in this river or pond. Okay. Filled up to the brim. They are just floating. Okay. If one of these clay pot breaks, where will the water inside this clay pot will go? Love?
In the water.
Great. So when this clay pot breaks of my human body, the soul will remain here only. Okay. It will get merged with the supreme soul, the existence. Okay. So this is why we feel that we have an individual soul, because of like it is individual's perception. I may feel that I have an individual soul, you may feel that you have an individual soul, but when our clay pots break, where will the soul go? It will remain there only. It will just get merged with the supreme soul, supreme consciousness. Okay. Now comes the mind. Okay, mind takes the rebirth. Your question was that it is like possession really happens, or it
Yes, or like it's a mind game, right? We're playing those mind
no,
games.
it is, like Osho says, it can happen. Okay, as per Osho, I don't have any experience of possession. Okay, I'm never possessed by any other external force so far, so I cannot guarantee you because of my experience. But Osho says the possessions can happen.
Okay, okay. I'm just processing it. Thank you.
Right, understand like these examples. Many a times you will see like with many criminals you will get to hear this that they heard some voices in their head. Okay, about committing this crime. Even with Mount David Chapman, do it, do it, do it. Why you are waiting? Okay, so who is talking? Okay, so with many criminals, this kind of like experience Jeffrey Dahmer had, that he doesn't even remember he committed crime. Many people say that I don't, I how can I commit this crime? How did I do this? I don't know. Okay, Chris Watts case. He said that how can I kill my own wife and my kids? Okay, so possession happens in all these cases. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, Sheetal.
So I was thinking that when you speak of possession, um, often, uh, people who have low self-esteem, or those who get harassed a lot, or those who, do not feel greatly, or, do, do you think they are more vulnerable to being possessed? Because, let's say, and I also related to, say, sleep apnea, oftentimes when you feel like you're choking in your sleep sometimes. Like it is a very scientific reason for sleep apnea, but could it be that you're in a state of mind where you're stressed or you're vulnerable, that based off of Osho's philosophy, that there is some demonic spirit trying to take over you because you are feeling shrunk in your mind?
Mm, sleep paralysis is a different thing. If you are talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just, all these thoughts were occurring to me as you were
Right.
talking, and so I was
Yeah.
just speaking aloud. Yeah, thinking aloud.
But like possession also takes place, and what you said is correct. The person who has like this low self-esteem, or someone who is condemned throughout his life, you are not good
Right.
enough. and someone who himself feels I didn't achieve anything.
Yeah.
Okay, because of that, the confidence level will be so low. I'm not good enough. Okay.
Right.
Now other mind, the demonic mind, has the chance of possessing it. It can happen in like reverse order also. If you study further on spiritual matters and all, many people have claimed the feeling of expansion as the experience of their enlightenment. Even with Jim Carrey, even with like a Sadhguru and all, they say that there was this feeling of expansion. The same thing. Okay, an underconfident person is feeling shrinkingness. He is getting inside himself. A, a person who is full of confidence, someone like Jim Carrey and all, who has experienced everything, he will have the feeling of expansion, that everything is me. Okay, this is the opposite feeling.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's very important to draw a line when you see that you're part of a environment, a toxic environment, that
Right.
at what point you should move out, for the sake of your
Yeah,
own peace of
right.
mind,
Especially,
survival.
like, especially Osho says that especially with the kids, we should be like very careful. Like when
Right.
we are like saying something negative to them. Okay, uh, people should not, like kids should not be told that they are dumb, they are stupid, they will not be able to do anything in their life and all these kind of things, because they are just in receptive mode. They don't have their own individuality, they don't assert. Even if they assert, they get slapped, okay, unnecessarily. So that is where like we should be extremely careful what we are talking or what we are speaking to a kid. Okay, because if he gets into this shelf mode within himself, okay, then it is he becomes like easy prey to like demonic souls, but it is also like not good for overall growth also. Osho says that the reason why we see so many dumb people in this world, because of the so-called teachers who are telling the children that they are dumb from their childhood.
Right. Yeah. And some people say this thinking that, oh, I'm trying to break their ego so that they are more humble. But I I think it doesn't work that way.
There are many different ways to like
Interpret it. Yeah. Theory.
ego, work on ego of someone.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome, Zaira.
Sorry, I just wanted to make a comment. We're talking about the supernatural world, right? Like
Right.
so we believe in the supernatural. It's just wild to me that we can believe in the supernatural. I also believe in it, by the way. I believe in there's demons and angels and everything. It's so wild to me though that we can without hesitation believe in the supernatural world, but question the natural world, the things that we can see, the stones and everything, the natural things that have been put on this earth, that we're questioning. Just to go back on the topic, just
Right.
to go that we're questioning what we can see that is abundant in the earth, that and we're questioning why that is here, or what purpose does that serve, or is it just adornment or beauty, that we have a question about. But we have there's a consensus on the supernatural world. I just find that wild. I just want to say that.
Yeah,
That's all.
I
That's all.
agree. Sure. So yeah, even in like remedies and gemstones, as I said, if it like you are talking of your experience, I am talking of my experience. That's it. On that
No,
point,
no, no.
we
I
will.
know. I don't mean to be like disrespectful, but I just want to. I just want to like point out that that's wild to me that people are more readily available, like ready to believe that than what they can actually see.
Right.
I think it's so interesting, like how the human mind thinks. It's just fascinating to me. But
Right.
I understand it too. I understand it too, that we probably because nobody has like refuted that there. You can't refute that, but you can. I guess you can refute that something
You
hasn't worked
cannot.
for you.
Right.
That yeah, but it's but like for me, if someone says like gemstones are bullshit or whatever, um but then if they say they believe in the supernatural world, and then I'm just like, how do you square both things? Like how do you square the two things? Either both of them are bullshit, or that's how I think. But it's just, I guess it's just how individual we are in our thinking. It's interesting.
I agree. Okay. Yep. Any further question, comment, closing remarks from anyone? Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining. It was nice session, interacting one. Okay. So let's meet next time whenever we have some interesting topic to discuss. Thanks, Zahira, for sharing
Thank you
all the
so much for
information.
letting me share my experience and a counterpoint and opposing view. And I'm sorry I missed the last session. I wish I was there for that, but I'm glad you gave me an opportunity to share my experience also.
Yeah.
And
Thank
this is
you
a good
all.
way to get some time with you, sir. We have to catch up.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all also, for coming in and giving your questions, comments, suggestions, and all. It is great to have this conversation and discussion. Great. Thank you. Let's meet next time.